On Friday night's our regular roundup of EV news from around the world, specifically in Europe. And this week as a bonus we meet up with the Tesla EV commissioning team, who reveal the truth about why some of the installations take forever, fantastic news from EV on the Move and how their V4 chargers work. I'm Dave. Welcome to Dave Takes It On. We're going to start with Tesla and the news that all Tesla service centres have now opened up their chargers to non-Tesla cars. Yeah, they're all open up to all EV drivers with CCS2 sockets, which is pretty much every single car in the UK. And this gives a massive boost to the number of Tesla Superchargers that are open to all. When I did the last count, it was 66 new installation. Now that's already been beaten. It's probably up over 70. Well, why is this news? Well, Tesla only installed 250 kilowatt chargers and now have over 1,500 chargers in the UK. And at around 10 bays per location, nearly half of them are now open to all. That's like a brand new public charging network. In fact, just counting those open to all, that makes them actually the third largest charging network in the UK. That excludes the Tesla-only ones. That's beating GridServe, but behind BP Pulse and Instavolt. But we all know those two have mainly fast and rapid chargers, 7 kilowatts, 11 and 50 kilowatts. Instavolt install nothing more than 160 kilowatts, and BP Pulse have mainly fast chargers. So technically Tesla's Superchargers open to all is the largest ultra-rapid charger network in the UK. Yet still many EV drivers do not even know they can use Tesla open to all chargers and save a load of money. Well, add in the fact that most of them used by EV drivers who just turn up, swipe contactless and charge will only pay around 50 pence per kilowatt hour at peak times and 40 pence off peak. Well, we have a much more detailed look at Tesla Superchargers open to all launching on Sunday. New video where we reveal some amazing items even I didn't know. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Hyundai announced a huge leap in new car sales, up 27% in May, with EVs accounting for nearly 50% of all new cars sold in May. Well, I cannot understand the popularity of hybrids and welcome all EVs as we await the launch of a stream of budget £20,000 BEVs over the next few months, including the amazing Dacia Spring starting at $13,995. Hyundai announced their own Ioniq 2 priced at $20,000, and that will meet others later in the year like the Tesla Model 2, the Citroën EC3 and BYD Seagull. Prices are at last heading down, with the average used car price in the UK now hovering around $18,000, makes the move to a brand new EV much more popular. All we need to do now is get rid of the old lies and myths that are being pushed by legacy auto and the oil giants. Mercedes announced a pullback from their push to go all EV, and it's just one of many legacy automakers to do so. This is exactly what I predicted. New sales of petrol and diesel cars are still heading downwards. Latest figures from the SMMT, Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, the official body, shows diesel down 16.7%, petrol 2.1% down, while BEVs are up 6.2%. PHEVs up a massive 31.5% in the UK, May 2024. Plain English, ICE car sales are crashing. They're down 22% even on 2008 sales. That was 16 years ago, down over 33% on the ICE peak sales in 2016. Well, in a falling ICE market, Legacy Auto are desperate not to lose any more ICE sales, so they've withdrawn most of their EVs, hoping that their customers are just going to head back to buying ICE once again. Sorry, that is never going to happen. ICE sales are falling, and that fall will accelerate. Well, private sales of EVs remain subdued, but they're still up 7.1% in May versus last year. My reading of the market is that buyers want EVs for the lower running costs and the technology, but they're still seriously affected by the price and the lies and myths spread by the legacy auto and the oil giants. They want EVs to work, but they find them still too dear. They don't yet trust them for their use. And they don't want to buy seriously overpriced, outdated, old technology ICE cars. So they see PHEVs and HEVs as the best compromise. Sales year on year are up a massive 31.5% and 12.6% respectively. Well, later this year, stand by to see a flood of EVs in the £20,000 to £25,000 range and see how the buyers react. My prediction, it'll be a bloodbath for legacy auto. Well, Nissan gives us mixed news. First, a massive boost to UK jobs as it announces it will expand its EV factory in Sunderland. It'll make the new Nissan Leaf, a model I thought was being phased out. It will feature an update and modernisation to the most popular EV ever, and one that almost started the EV revolution just over a decade ago. Is that all it is? Just over a decade? Well, the first EVs came around in the UK in 1832. That was long before the internal combustion ever made its first appearance, 1892. But more recently, 2011-2012 saw the introduction of the Leaf and the Zoe, marking really the start of the modern era EV. The new updated Leaf will probably prove to be a popular car if they price it right. But there's often a fly in the ointment. Nissan announced that it may not actually make it in the UK. As it is dated, an update only goes so far. So mixed news indeed. I suspect the factory will make EVs in 2026 and beyond, securing UK jobs, but they may choose to replace the Leaf before then with a brand new, yet to be announced model. Well, let's hope this one will have CCS2 as standard. I never understood why they stuck with CHAdeMO so long, even to this day. USA tariffs on new EVs from China and Europe's move towards them is unlikely to stop the popularity of their EVs. BYD sell the Seagull in China for around $10,000. So even with 100% tariffs, this will be a cheap, competitive car. But more and more in the USA and Europe, the Chinese are working with local manufacturers in joint ventures to manufacture EVs or assemble EVs that were made in China in their target markets. While slow off the mark, more home-based EV manufacturers are switching to South Korean or Japanese EV batteries to help them get round the new tariffs, because the Chinese ones, although cheaper, are now not able to get the tariff. And that's a hefty £7,500 IRA subsidy. Well, in the meantime, the budget EVs will begin to use sodium batteries in greater numbers, and that can happily be sourced from anywhere in the world. But lithium will remain a leading chemistry for longer range and performance EVs for many years to come. And Tesla lithium factory in Texas is gearing up to become a major supplier for all EV manufacturers around the world. Well, the ultimate Marmite moment, the Cybertruck. Love it or hate it, but sales are climbing rapidly and show no sign of slowing. While Ford is still the world leader in pickups in the States, Cybertruck has already overtaken Rivian, and this first quarter they overtook the total annual sales of the GM Hummer in a quarter. Tesla's likely to sell around about 15,000 Cybertrucks in this, its first year of production, so it won't challenge Ford just yet, but it is a serious player. It's become the ultimate must-have vehicle for celebrities, pop and film stars, which the F150 never achieved. That was just a big truck. Where this goes is yet to be seen, but the Cybertruck was laughed at by Jim Farley, CEO of Ford, saying, it'll never catch on apart from a few yuppies in Silicon Valley. Well, that myth has been destroyed. Ford is seeing a big hit on its F-150 sales of petrol and diesel cars in recent months. Commercial sales are propping up the results, but in the private market, things are decidedly not rosy. As Ford counts a sale when a vehicle leaves the factory, they're currently shipping far more F-150 ICE cars than dealers want or can. Most of them already pretty well stacked up with unsold new trucks, so many new ones are being hidden in storage. Recent Detroit story broke this news, but as always, there's only so long you can keep manufacturing cars that are not selling or selling less than you make. Ford are desperate not to shut down or slow their factories. That would be a massive blow to their reputation and the industry as a whole, although this is exactly what Dodge and Ram are already doing. They've lost their CEOs, their sales are dire. Many ICE media experts are predicting they cannot survive much longer. They've got no affordable EV trucks and they're not selling their ICE trucks. That's not a good place to be. Well, a big thank you to Simon Smith. He's a regular contributor to the channel for this news item that he found in Dundee. I welcome news items and videos and photos from our viewers, so if you see anything I've missed, please get in touch. Contact details are below. You'll always get a mention. So once again, Simon, thank you very much for your contribution. So for mobility safety reasons and also for beating the idiot vandals who seem to take delight in vandalising EV chargers or just cutting their cables for scrap metal, here's an innovative idea: retractable chargers. Well, the idea is sad to have as a sign of the times, but it's brilliant in concept, and Dundee Council have taken it on in a trial. Chargers retract into the pavement when not in use, meaning no mobility restrictions or tripping hazards or vandalism, but they rise up when activated by an app. I did recently say in a video that we need future style ideas for our future EV charging needs. This is an absolutely great idea. I wish it all the success. Well, I fear we're going to see far more factory recalls in the coming years. Legacy Auto have seen ICE sales declining for well over a decade, and that decline is now accelerating. With declining sales, their response is to, well, cut costs still further and raise prices. So they just accept they're going to sell fewer cars, but each one hopefully will make a larger and larger profit. And unfortunately, this is a very, very short-lived approach and primarily affects petrol and diesel cars. The list of factory calls is now reaching the ludicrous level and also seems to be accelerating. Well, it's logic really. If you cut your costs, your failure rate will increase, and that will ultimately lead first to more warranty claims, but second to a higher vehicle factory recall rate. These recalls are particularly crippling as they affect so many cars, but can happen even long after the warranty expires. So they sold the car, they paid out for a certain number of warranty claims and settle back to enjoy their sales profit, small though it is, and after sales profit from their parts and servicing, and they're suddenly finding that an entire range or batch is recalled, and that's paid for by the manufacturer, even out of warranty. Well, it seems what little profits Legacy Auto makes on the sale of new ICE cars and how few cars are now being serviced or repaired using genuine OEM parts, their future profits are decidedly shaky. Given the absolute huge debts they all have around the world, their future is looking less secure. We will hear more of this in the coming months and years. EV Point, as they were known, featured in several videos and pricing reports because they charge a lovely 65 pence per kilowatt hour, the EV chargers, and recently they've rebranded to become EV on the Move. Not sure what difference that will make, but they have been going out at the moment rebranding all their EV locations. In addition, they were one of the first to announce that they're going to be buying Tesla V4 250 kilowatt chargers. Well, local to me is an EG service station outside. It's the Starbucks, and there's an installation there that has dragged on for almost a year. There's a long story and a separate video on that. Find details below, but a visit there yesterday discovered the Tesla commissioning engineers on site preparing them for opening. They revealed they've just commissioned their first EV on the Move V4 chargers at Waghorn near Preston and hope to get running as soon as possible. I was able to ask them how these work with Tesla owners, discovered a number of things. First, these are being installed by others, but final connections and commissioning is always done by Tesla. These are the Tesla commissioning engineers. Once live, these will be included along with all the other Tesla superchargers in the Tesla maintenance plan. And this is a tremendous move because faults are monitored in real time and many of them can be fixed with an over-the-air update or a reboot. Repairs may be repaired before anyone finds out they're actually broken. More importantly, this could become a future revenue stream for Tesla from the other charging networks who buy the V4s. They make money from the sale, they make money from a maintenance agreement. Well, at least it will mean they operate at a much higher reliability rate than many of us are used to at non-Tesla chargers. But equally important, I learned that these will be operated exactly the same as if it was a Tesla supercharger. We Tesla owners will simply plug in, charge, drive off. No need for EV on the Move app or contactless or anything. Sorry to say, although it will be as easy, it will not be as cheap. While Tesla's supercharger prices hover around the 30 to 50 pence per kilowatt hour, EV on the Move will charge you that full 65p at their V4 chargers. But at least it's done automatically without an app or a contactless card needed. Well, thanks very much for watching. A number of these news items will be featuring in more details videos to be released over the next few days. Please subscribe so you don't miss those. And for those new to EVs or yet to take the plunge, we're launching a Tesla open to all CCS2 EV charging guide covering all you need to know about charging your EV if you've chosen not to buy a Tesla. It is much easier and cheaper than you think. And spoiler alert, you do not need to become a member or pay any membership fee to be able to use them. I'm Dave.